Hello. This is the first video that I've filmed for this channel. Hopefully by the time it is online, the channel will have a name and it will make sense and it will all be cohesive. I'll have an introduction filmed by then to let you know kind of who I am and what's going on, why you want to watch videos that have me in them. But today I'm just going to start where I am. I watch a lot of YouTubers, and a lot of them have their lives put together, and they say out loud, don't believe everything you see on the screen, because really, my life's kind of crazy sometimes. I just don't film that part. But I feel like it's kind of good to see that part sometimes. So I'm here to not be that person, to be the person that's actually filming the real stuff. And if you want to watch real stuff, then keep coming back. And if you don't, then that's okay too. I'm wearing a t-shirt with leftover makeup on from yesterday. Earlier today, I had the lip stain on still, and my lips looked a little better, but it's worn off because I didn't get to film this as early as I wanted to, because I had to dump all the videos on my phone, and then I wanted to film it outside. But as you can maybe hear a little bit, the neighbors decided to cut their grass. So here I am. Today's video, I kind of want to touch on a couple different things. The main thing being that life can change. Your whole world can just flip with one conversation. So yesterday, I filmed a video from my friend Virginia's channel. She did an interview with me because she's kind, and and the lighting was terrible, and it's a pretty bad video probably. But on Virginia's channel yesterday, I was talking about life. I was in a great mood. Everything is going well. I talked about all sorts of different things that were just working well. And then my husband and I had a conversation last night, and it was really driven home that we need to change our financial habits. And he's been saying this for years, and I have been saying, oh, it's fine, it'll be fine, let's not worry about it. I kind of don't really want to do the hard things and watch every single penny and live like we have no money, because that's not the case. I feel like, and it's a very privileged position to be in, to have enough money that you can spend it poorly. I recognize that, but that's where I am. So my husband makes decent money, and we have 4 children, and when we need something or want something, we buy it. And we don't buy every single thing that we need or want, but we kind of do the majority. If it seems like something that will be useful for our family, then we go ahead and buy it. I think it's a hard thing to live in today's society with Amazon on speed dial and not do that sometimes. And we do it more than we should, probably. But there's a fine line for me. That's not true. It's hard for me to decipher what things are necessities. It's very black and white for him. If we have a roof over our head and we have enough food and we have gas to drive to our jobs, that's all that's necessary. Every single other expense can be eliminated, period. And factually, that's true. But thinking about living that way just makes me feel smothered and stifled and trapped, and the idea of not having a single penny to go out with a girlfriend or have a date night or buy the shoes on ThredUp that I want. We don't buy extravagant things. We don't wear name brands. I never buy my children clothes from a store. They're always secondhand. ThredUp is my very best friend. And so I feel like in a lot of ways, we do spend our money very wisely. And then, so it's hard for me to think about not spending any of it ever. We also have, the kids have swim lessons, or they have soccer teams, or they have piano. Two of my kids and I are taking piano lessons right now from a fantastic teacher, just an unbelievable teacher, and it is insanely expensive. And I knew when we started those lessons that it was insanely expensive, but at the time I felt like it was a necessary expense because I want my family to know how to play the piano, and I want to know how to play the piano. And my teacher moved away. Shame on her, but I still love her. And so I found this great teacher, and so I made the choice to pay a ridiculous amount of money for these piano lessons. And it's improving our life, and I'm loving it. But after the conversation last night, it's obvious to me that those have to go. And I've done enough work and I read enough books that I know logically that's not a big deal. There are other ways that we can learn the piano. I know enough that I can teach them myself some things. I'm sure that I have friends who would point me in the right direction once I get stumped. What book is next? What should they be learning next? And I can help them to do that. It would probably even help me to learn some of the things that I don't do very well on. And so logically, giving up the piano lessons is not a big deal. But then the other side of my brain is very sad and very hurt because I love the piano lessons and I want for my kids to have them. And no, they're not a necessity. But it's part of the vision that I had for my family. But they are not a necessity. And so I think they need to go. And there are things like that. Things like, we don't have cable TV, but we use all of the, $10 or $12 a month alternatives so that we can watch replayed TV or old TV or movies or whatever. Are those necessities? I don't know. Will we die if we don't have them? No. Will anything terrible happen to us? No. But I use them. And I want them. And they're not that expensive. So at what point, where do you draw the line? If something is only $12 a month, it's not really that much. So is that okay? I don't know. So my point is, yesterday, things were fine. Things were great. All was well. And in one conversation, everything has changed. I let the kids have a day off of school. We homeschool. Told the kids they could have the morning off because I needed to film this video to kind of wrap my brain around a couple things. And I need to start working on a resume because we also made the choice a few years ago for me to stay home with the kids. And now in COVID world, it seems pretty likely that I can still stay home with the kids, but also find a job working remotely. And that's what I need to do. So I need to update my resume, and I need to shift my priorities, and I need to look for a couple jobs because our financial situation is such that we're not going to be homeless, and it's not anything insane, but we need to increase our income very quickly and very dramatically. And so that means that I need to get a couple jobs, and I need to start changing the way we do things. It also changes, just that one conversation. I didn't sleep very well. My husband and I have been working on our communication and our relationship over the last, forever. But it's been a very focused effort over the last year and a half or so, probably since the lockdown. And our communication is great. Our sex life is the best it's ever been. And we're sort of exploring new dimensions in that department. And I was excited to continue that process. And now my body feels like just tense and uneasy. And for me, that's not the way to have fun in the bedroom. When you're worried and tense and stressed and thinking about other things and feeling sad about the changes that need to be made. And so then it throws that in as another factor. And that can recover. It just takes time. And I'm sure once I get my resume situated and I tweak a few things and I come to terms with the things that are not necessities that my family will not be participating in for the next foreseeable future, we will adjust. It's just tough. Money is tough. And I've looked at Dave Ramsey's courses. We purchased those and adhered to his program for a little while. I've watched other YouTubers talk about ways to budget and envelope systems and that sort of thing. And those are definitely possible, and those are probably something that we're going to do. But what I don't see a lot of is people talk about how hard it is to do that. Sure, it's possible. Yes, it will make a big impact. But it's not fun. And it changes the way you live. And yes, there will be positive results, but the day-to-day is going to feel very different. And so I want whoever's watching this to know that real people struggle with things like this, that it's okay to have emotions about it, that it's perfectly normal to feel one way and have it be very irrational and emotional, and then also at the same time be able to think about the flip side and how it's totally not that big of a deal, and you just sort of be stuck in the middle of that spot where you're kind of feeling both things at the same time. I've been reading Loving What Is by Byron Katie and looking at her 4 questions, the process of inquiry, and I will probably use those questions on this issue and others so that I can really get to the bottom of why this makes me feel the way it makes me feel. I grew up in a typical household. Money was not something that was discussed, though. We had enough money to do what it seemed like needed to be done. I never heard from my parents, we don't have enough money to do that, or we can't do that because it's too expensive, or you can't have that Christmas gift because we don't have the money. Money just wasn't really talked about. I know there were times we never really went out to dinner as a kid, but it wasn't something that was talked about. So it wasn't the case that we wanted to go out to dinner and the parents said, no, we can't afford that. We just didn't go out to dinner because that's the choice that my parents made as a way for us to save money. But it wasn't talked about. And so money has just never been something that I was taught how to use or what to do with or how to plan or how to budget or how to use the money to its maximum potential. Those are things I learned on my own as an adult. And I am not great at it. And it has caused me trouble in the past. I've had a house be foreclosed on. I've had vehicles be repossessed. Those were both surrounding a difficult divorce. But they happened. I've had credit cards be maxed out. But I've bounced back from everything, and I've figured it all out, and I've made changes, and I've made progress. And I'm much better than where I was a decade or two ago. But I wish I was better, and I hope that I can teach my kids now when they're young how to budget, what money is, how to use it wisely, and to set themselves up so that they don't run into the troubles that I had or have. I wrote down some things I want to make sure I'm touching on. Yep, okay. So, it looks like I covered everything. I feel a little better. I'm grateful that I didn't cry through the entire video. But I want you to know that life doesn't have to be perfect. And what you see on the TV or your phone screen or your tablet or wherever it is that you're watching things, I just want you to know that there are real people out there that are feeling the things that you're feeling, and that it's okay, and that you're not alone. And maybe you needed a reason to cry today, and maybe watching my video helped you out. And so if that's the case, I'm grateful for it. And hopefully my children can watch this video in the future and reflect back on it. And I know that it's made me feel a little better to get some of these things off my chest. And I've got a busy day with the kids to plan and finish, and resumes to send out, and jobs to find, and a lot of things to kind of recalibrate. So I've got some stuff to do today. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you found value, and you can like this video and subscribe. Please, I'm not one of those channels that wants to read a bunch of comments that are negative. That just doesn't seem like a good plan for me, especially with all the negativity online that exists. I don't need that. So if you don't like this video, please watch another channel. I don't need for you to tell me how terrible I am or how bad my life is or say mean things to me. I'm not interested. So if you have great things to say and you can relate, please write some comments below so that we can, be on this journey together. But if this channel isn't for you and you don't feel the need to be kind, then please find another channel. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.